we have this one. Let me just, this is our scenario two.
Mm.
This is our scenario two. Let me just make it in this one. This is our scenario three.
Yeah.
Designing principle. Okay. So for that reason, we have this one copy. Let me just paste it over here. Yes. So the right answer aligned according to the CCSP. We have data
Mm.
encryption is at rest and transit using
Mm.
a robust cryptography we have to do.
Correct.
Strong IM with the RBAC and
Okay.
MFAs, right?
Mm. Yeah.
Segmentations, network isolations between environments.
Mm.
DLPs, data loss preventions and monitoring with the SIEM and SOAR. Anything we can use,
Mm.
QRadar, Splunk, we have Sentinel, we have a lot of them, right?
Correct.
So we
Yeah.
can use
Yeah.
them. And then secure API design governance. So accordingly,
Okay.
the CCSP concept, we have confidentiality, integrity, availability. We have taken care of all of
Mm.
them, right? And provided the secure design pattern to the threat modeling. Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Mm.
And your answer is aligned to the principle of least privileges and access control. Yes, access control, but we have to get more deep dive.
Yeah.
Now you will be CCSP certified, right? So your
Yeah.
answer should be not a journal security person. It should be
Mm.
a CCSP oriented as well.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Next
Mm.
question was certification criteria of the cloud providers. Your team is evaluating two cloud service providers. One claims ISO 271 certification and other claims FedRAMP. Have you heard about FedRAMP?
I have heard. I have heard
For
about that.
healthcare
Mm.
data in US majorly, right? Okay, so how do these certification differs and which one is more relevant if the company handles the healthcare data in a US? So what do you think? So you have given is
I-
more towards the information security management organization, not related to any specific producer. Okay, is more accessible monitoring and security cloud. I would recommend the FedRAMP as core focus on handling the data. So accordingly, just try to understand over here. Let me just give you this one. Okay, so this is the
Mm.
major on that one. See, check. So according to the ISA, it's an international standard of information security that you know ISMS, right?
Mm.
And it's
Mm.
a US government specific FedRAMP,
Correct.
Standardized Security Assessment Authorization for Cloud Services. For
Yes.
health data, prefer FedRAMP plus HIPAA. HIPAA, you also know that, right?
Yep,
HIPAA
I know that.
compliance for federal trust. ISO is good, but FedRAMP is stricter and aligned with the NIST SP 853, which is majorly
Okay.
also used for risk assessment,
Risk assessment.
right?
Mm.
So you have to work on that one. So regulatory and compliance frameworks can also be added onto top of that one. Next one
Mm.
is the product certification from system, because whatever the product you are creating,
Mm.
a government
Mm.
agency is procuring cloud-based storage system. They ask for evaluation assurance level certification. What is EAL and why might be important when choosing a cloud system component? You have given that the EL is based upon the common criteria, which includes what kind of a security testing is performed to ensure certain security level, and why it is important because in that the way the agencies can ensure themselves. Correct. So you have that one, that is EAL is your evaluation assurance level.
Mm. Mm.
And if I'm not wrong, it is a part of ISO 15408. Okay.
Okay.
So it indicates the depth and the product evaluation for
Mm.
EL1 basic to formally verified EAL 7. There is a phases they give.
Okay.
EAL, it is not just a terminology, it is a phases they have like EAL1, EAL2, EAL3, EAL4, EAL5, EAL7. So
Mm.
EAL7 is basically formally verified one, and it starts from
Mm.
EAL1, right?
Mm.
For a sensitive system like government, militaries, and
Mm.
banking or something, minimum EAL4 is often required. You might
Mm.
can encounter these things as well.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm. Mm.
So accordingly, if I just give you this one, so appropriate answers should be this one.
Mm.
Check.
Mm-hmm.
It indicates the depth of this one, EL basic to this, and then this. Okay. So
Okay.
let me just quickly paste down so that you can have that notes with you as well. Okay. So now what you have done, it's basically depending upon your cloud roles. There is a situations, and these things you will encounter every day in a cloud, because
Mm.
cloud is now there and everyone has to work on that one. And you know that everything which is working in your military, in your
Mm.
government, and in your banking,
Mm.
they are majorly working on on-premise, that you know, correct?
Correct.
Now, in a over a time period, I also believe that they will be also going to shift to the clouds.
Yes, like in my case, it is there. Like, in a bank, right, where still, yes, there are lot of applications on-prem, but still there is lot of workload are there on cloud.
Do you know that how they are doing the transactions on that?
I mean, like I know that, but not supposed to reveal that. So there are some, that
Correct, correct, correct,
mandatory
correct,
obligations.
correct,
However, I mean, like again, it's a mix. Basically, I would say that it's a kind of almost like 40/60 or 50/50. You can say that again. So there are multiple, levels are there because they have to handle a lot of different financial, services. So and it's a microservice, based architecture what they are following
hmm,
everywhere within, like particular, for example, insurance, right? So they have within that insurance, they have multiple services, like multiple microservices they are having. So each and couple of them, majority of the microservice architecture is on the cloud side. But wherever we have the legacy applications, like, for example, mainframe, those kind of things, those are there on the on-prem side.
correct. But remember, like I think so, working with one of the African bank, right? I
Mm,
cannot give the name of that one,
mm,
but
mm,
I was with them, and then that was one of the training that we have done, and then we have done the hyperledger. Do you know about hyperledgers? Hyperledger fabric.
no, I haven't heard of. What is that?
Okay, so let's try to understand, like, because see, everyone is going into the cloud, so everything is getting into the transparency, correct?
Mm,
Because the
mm,
cloud architecture will be knowing that one. Now,
mm,
if you want to do the transactions, then they are doing the transaction with the help of a fabrics.
mm-hmm,
What is a fabric now?
mm-hmm. What is the
Fabric,
fabric?
fabric basically, you know that the blockchains are there,
Ah,
right?
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
how they are doing the transactions nowadays? Now, suppose you are right now in Australia, I'm in
mm,
India, and there is
mm,
another country. So Australia and India is having a particular. So Australia is selling something as a product, right? And India is going to
mm,
purchase that one. Australia has given a price to China, and that is a
mm,
quite high, correct? And
mm,
now, if they are doing it on a cloud and doing the transactions as well, what they are doing is they are using the
mm,
fabric channels to do the transactions, so that
mm,
the Indian transactions towards the you can say this one, Australia, India and
mm,
Australia, they will be going
mm.
to do a private chain, which is also like a, that the Bitcoin, right?
Yes, yes,
The
yeah, yeah.
Bitcoin is a decentralization,
Mm,
correct?
mm,
But
mm,
they are doing the private centralization kind of something, so that
mm,
that remains between India and Australia only, and that goes
mm.
on top of cloud, because the
Okay.
infrastructures and everything, whatever they are going to use, they are going to use a cloud. But because of the transparency, because there are a lot of
Yeah.
people who are responsible under that one, so they will be knowing, because suppose if any of the transaction is going between Australia and India,
Mm,
and if
mm,
any of the cloud service provider knows that one, they will be trying to take the advantages of that one, right? And then
mm,
try to
mm,
use this information towards the other countries so that they get something from
mm,
it. So they do, on top of the cloud, they do the fabric decentralization, but private decentralization, so that between
mm,
one and second party. so that they will be able to crack the deal and do the transaction accordingly, and then it should not get into the public as well.
This
So
is, I guess, just to avoid that like intermediaries, basically, right? For
yes.
example, normally when you have like a transaction happens cross country,
Mhm,
then accordingly you have one bank which is like foreign bank of having a branch in the local area, and
mhm,
then that get converted, that there is some intermediary bank which is being
mhm.
sent, and then from that bank to the final destination bank.
Correct.
So basically, and in duration, this entire